Hey, what's going on? You know who it is, you know what it is. All right, you guys, man, I'm gonna talk some baseball. I know you guys don't usually hear me do baseball videos, but I'll do one. I'll do a baseball video. Um, I'll get to the Cubs and the Indians in a second, but I just want to talk about why I don't follow baseball like I used to. My personal issues with baseball, or should I say, the Oakland A's, is I used to be a diehard Oakland A's fan, man. I used to go to the Coliseum all the time with my pops, and man, used to love watching the A's play, man. I'm talking about I used to follow the A's during the Ricky Henderson, Dwayne Murphy, Connie Lansford, Tony Phillips, you know, um, Jose Canseco, Mark McGuire, Dave Stewart, then Jason Giambi, Mark Mulder, Tejada, Barry Zito, all them cats. But after the new ownership took over, I think Lewis Wolf had owned the team for about maybe 12 years now. After he bought the team, I stopped following the team because Lewis Wolf and co-owner Fisher, I think his name is Steve Fisher, them dudes are just blatant fucking liars. I mean, they lie about everything. Them dudes have been caught in so many lies concerning the A's and potential stadium deals till it isn't funny. To be honest with you, the A's organization have played, I'll say, 70% of a role in why the Raiders are possibly headed to Las Vegas because of them not wanting to cooperate with the city. It's really all about that land, man, where the Coliseum is. I guess they feel like it's valuable land. And it's enough room on the land where the Coliseum is to build a full-fledged another baseball stadium or football stadium. So the problem is the A's could have had a new stadium 10 years ago. They didn't have land laid out for the A's for the last 10 years to build the A's brand new state of the art 37,000 seat stadium over there by the Port of Oakland. They wanted to build a stadium similar to AT&T Park. And Lewis Wolf and Fisher have refused to cooperate with the city. To be honest with you, had they cooperated with the city and got this stadium built, I think the Raiders would already possibly have a new stadium by now. But because of the A's trying to play the waiting game, and then you really can't trust the A's organization either, because keep in mind they attempted to move that team to San Jose not once but twice until they lost the lawsuit against Major League Baseball over territorial rights with the Giants. Basically, they told them you can't go no fucking where. So now it seems like they trying to cooperate with the city of Oakland now, but they still coming up with excuses. Still coming up with excuses why they really are not sure if they want to build a new stadium by the Port of Oakland. So, I mean, just excuse after excuse. So, that's one of the reasons why I don't fuck with the A's, man, because I just don't like people playing games and shit with the city and the fans, man, because it's been proven that Oakland, San Francisco have a fan base to support two football teams, two baseball teams, and if it was a second basketball team here, they would be able to support a second basketball team. It isn't about a fan base, it's just about the politicians and a lot of just dirty, underhanded shit through these owners and other people. But anyway, I digress a little bit. But anyway, I want to talk about this World Series, man. I gotta be honest with you, this is an intriguing World Series between the Cubs and the Indians, where you had the city of Cleveland that could possibly host two parades back to back for the baseball and basketball team. Then you had the Chicago Cubs. In case you guys don't know, the curse of the Billy Goat, where you haven't had this team go to the World Series in 70 plus years, and they haven't won a World Series since Wrigley Field was like a few years old. And there's very few people in the world that's alive the last time the Cubs won a World Series. So That's amazing within itself. There's actually a couple of people still alive when the last time the Cubs won it all. But I wonder what you guys find more interesting, or what would be more interested: the Chicago Cubs winning the World Series, or Cleveland, hosting, back-to-back parades for their baseball and basketball team. Now, as far as Chicago, the city of Chicago itself, Chicago, I mean, they always win. The Blackhawks have won. The Bulls have 6 championships. The White Sox won a championship 10 years ago. So, I mean, the only team you need to add to the mix is really the Cubs as of recently. So, I'm trying to think which is the bigger story. Me, myself, I expect the Cubs to win this World Series because the Cubs, they had the best team all year. They had the pitching, they had the bats. They spent a lot of money in free agency to get where they are now, and it paid off. Not to mention Theo Epstein. So, I mean, as a GM, so yeah, nothing short of Chicago winning. If they don't win it all, it's a disappointment. But it's funny the team that they have to beat to win the World Series, because it would be an interesting storyline on both parts if the city of Cleveland hosted a World Series parade for the Indians, if they happen to pull this off, versus the Chicago Cubs. Like I say, they always win. It's not like the city of Chicago don't have parades. They had a parade a few years ago. So y'all let me know what y'all think is more interesting. What would be the better storyline? The Indians winning it all, or the Chicago Cubs? I'm out.